Right. So I, I guess we have around 10 participants now. What we can do, we can just skim through what we covered in the last lecture, and then we can take any question. And then at the end, we can just go through the homework solution, question number 1 part B. Might be that content might also cover in different perspective in today's lecture. So if there is some queries, so we can take them together. So in the last lecture, we finished the phase margin and the stability part of chapter 12.8. And then we also started the basic two-stage amplifier. In the basic two-stage amplifier, what we were doing basically, we just started with a generic workhorse, which we said, okay, this is the medium performance amplifier, which is used in a lot of applications, and those applications were analog filtering, current referencing, and the switch cap, apart from which we all know the amplification purposes. So we use as an amplifier, then we use for the filtering purposes, and an analog filter, which is a very much vast domain. The current references, we want a proper value of current, which we use in our on-chip systems. So it's used for the current referencing too, and the switch cap, the discrete time filtering, or the A to D converter, which is also a very much broad field. So the basic two-stage op-amp, or in generic, the op-amp has vast applications, which is basically, let's say, you can say the building blocks of any analog design. So previously we were seeing the basic things like starting from the single stage, cascade, current mirrors, stability, feedback. Those were fundamentals for op-amp. And now what we are doing, we are seeing, okay, what is the op-amp, which is fundamental for all analog circuits or all analog devices. So that's something we are covering now in today's lecture. So we started seeing, okay, what are the key specifications? Based on that, we can decide our op-amp. So we have some open loop specifications, and we talk about some closed loop specifications. In an open loop specifications, we have DC gain, which we all are familiar now, how to find the DC gain for any stage, which we are going to do for a basic two stage today. Then comes the unity gain frequency, or the gain crossover frequency, meaning where the gain is going to cross the unity gain, and that frequency is known as unity gain frequency. The dominant pole frequency, from where the gain bandwidth or the magnitude curve is going to start decaying down with a 20 dB per decade. So the dominant frequency, which decides the bandwidth. Then comes the parasitic pole, the second or the third poles after the dominant pole. So after the first pole, the second pole, wherever is going to come, we will say it's a parasitic pole. It's not going to means decide the bandwidth, but definitely it will decide a lot of things in our circuit, which is one of the main thing is stability. And then we talk about the output swing. From the open loop, we can also decide about the output swing. जो भी हम configuration use करेंगे, that will decide कि आप rail to rail जा रहे हैं, or you are going for a small value of an output. And when we talk about pictorial representation, let me just make a space here. When we talk about the pictorial representation, we say, okay, this is, if this is the curve, gain bandwidth curve, which commonly call a magnitude curve. This is going to be the DC gain, this point which I am pointing out here. Then this node where it will start doing the 20 dB decade, it's going to be the dominant pole or the bandwidth of an amplifier, open loop, we call it open loop bandwidth. Then comes this point where it's going to cross the 0 dB, this magnitude plot. This omega naught is going to be the gain crossover frequency or unity frequency, unity gain frequency. And then comes the second pole, from where it's minus 40 dB is going to come. It's going to be first parasitic. For example, if there's another pole which is going to come here, so it's going to be a 60 dB decade. So this is going to be even a next pole which can come. So these are the main characteristics we get from an open loop, which we are going to carefully study and find in today's lecture. In the closed loop configuration, we talked about, okay, something you can get from the feedback, from the unity feedback, and that offset voltage. What is the offset voltage of your system? That is one of the main important topic that you want it to be as low as possible with your configuration. In the next lecture, we are going to talk about how we can reduce the offset voltage. Settling time, we mentioned, okay, if you have this amplifier, how much fast you can reach the output. If this is an input, a step response, how much fast you can reach to an output. So how much fast it can settle. That also depends upon the capacitance, the resistance, what the type of circuit you are using, explicitly the output stage. The input common mode range, how much input DC value you should apply to the transistor, or how much range you should apply to the transistor so that all of these transistors used in this op-amp are in saturation. So that also comes from the closed loop configuration. You can find it. Input Rafford noise, the noise of a system, because we are not living in an ideal environment. These transistors have a lot of noises. Some noises are known as thermal noise because of the movement of electron and holes. Then there is 1/f noise, that is a frequency dependent noise, or commonly known as flicker noise. That's also because of some physical phenomena present in the MOSFET, or a short noise or a pink noise. All of these noises are inherited to the transistors, or we can say inherited to our operational amplifier. So what we normally or commonly do, we all of these noises which are in the transistors, we bring them towards the input side. How, if some input, if some noise is coming in the output, we will divide it by the gain square and bring it on the input side. Since all the time the noises are depicted in terms of power, so we have to divide by square of gain. We are going to do that one in the next lecture, so we don't have to worry much about the input Rafford noise. But general idea is that we bring all the noises on the input side and we say input Rafford noise. If somebody says it's an output Rafford noise, meaning you are bringing all the noises of the system towards the output, and you are calling it output Rafford noise. CMRR, we have seen that in a differential scheme, we have a common mode which is applied, and we want that common mode value to be rejected. For example, the 50 to 60 hertz, the main line, or any common potential which is applied to the input of an amplifier, we want it to reject. We want that value to be rejected as much as possible. So we want a terminology common mode rejection ratio. We want it to be as high as possible, because this is a division in the nominal scale of differential gain divided by the common mode gain, or subtraction of differential gain by common mode gain. Then comes the power supply rejection ratio. Similarly, we have common mode value from the input side. We also have a common mode value from the power supply. We want any noise from the power supply. For example, we are assuming that the power supply, for example, you set VDD to 1.8 volts or 3.3 volts, it remains at 3.3 volts. But there are some fluctuations involved. Fluctuation can be going from 1.7 to 1.9 volts. We want our system to be robust against those variations. So we need to also measure those values. Okay, अगर कोई 1.9 volts supply जाती है, तो my system should behave still accurately, and how much is going to tolerate those variations. Same thing we do for the negative value, meaning if agar aapke supply voltage negative 1.8 hai, or even your supply voltage on the negative side is ground pe we do the similar test. So we normally call a terminology PSRR plus or PSRR positive for a positive, like a voltage, and PSRR negative for a negative or a ground value. So we see the differential gain with respect to any variation in this ground. So we'll do that one also in the next lecture, but just to idea what we are looking for. So here we left basically in the last lecture. We are going to talk or design with the basic two-stage op-amp, which is a workhorse or a medium performance application. So we'll start the basic workhorse, which is a two-stage amplifier, and we'll start analyzing it. So if we see here, this is a basic two-stage amplifier, which is commonly known as workhorse for a lot of applications, and also even the advanced topologies are modified version of this scheme. So the first thing what we want to see, we want to analyze this operation amplifier, which is an op-amp. So I want all of you to a little bit focus and try to analyze what's happening here. And I will give you like a 1 minute, and then we can start talking about this circuit. So just take 1 minute and little bit try to absorb where is input, where is output, and also try to depict, okay, if this is a common source, a differential amplifier, it's a common gate, whatever, current mirror. So try to analyze these things. So it will help us in digging deep together. So first thing about this op-amp, how many stages are there in this operational amplifier? Like stages in a sense cascade. कितनी stages cascade हो रही हैं आप लोगों के ख्याल से?
2. There are 3 stages.
3 stages. Okay. Anyone else want to say something?
2 stages perhaps.
2 stages. So that's a nice point to start. So let's see how many stages. That's all the time we have to see, go from input to output. So this is our input, and all of us can see it's a differential input because input differential hai, and we have a single-ended output. So it's not a fully differential topology, but still the inputs are differential. हमारे पास input differential hai, and we have a single-ended output. So if we see, our signal will go from here. जब हमारे पास differential signal होता है, for analyzing we can only take one side. So let's take only this side at this moment. हम लोग इस side को ले रहे हैं just to see कितने stages हैं. हम यहाँ से जाएंगे signal path से. Signal will go here. So this is first stage. ये क्या है? A differential common source topology. ठीक है? Common source degeneration कहना चाहें या common source आपके पास ये topology है. तो ये एक stage हो गई. The signal will come here. So voltage will convert into current here. यहाँ से जब current आपके पास आएगा, so this current is going to see some resistance. वो resistance से दोबारा voltage convert हो जाएगी. So again we have some voltage here. ठीक है? तो अभी हमारे पास एक stage की बात हुई है. We didn't talk about the second stage. यहाँ अब आपके पास voltage आई है, and this voltage is going to gate of a PMOS, and output is on the Vout. So यहाँ अब आपके पास कोई input V2 जा रही थी, and output is coming to the drain. So this is again a common source but single-ended topology. क्योंकि input is on the gate, output is on the drain. Source is grounded. So this is a common. आपके पास कौन सी topology है? Common source with some load. जो load है वो R0 यहाँ से नजर आ जाएगी. So there is some load R07, but ये आपके पास second stage है. So this amplifier configuration have, this is first stage, the differential first stage, and this one is a second stage. So it's a 2-stage amplifier. जिस तरह हम लोगों ने start भी किया था. It's a 2-stage amplifier, not a 3-stage. जो पहली है इसको हम stage नहीं कहेंगे, because this is just for the biasing purposes, it's providing the current. तो यहाँ आपके पास current mirror वाला काम हो रहा है. कोई current है I reference जो कि हम लोगों ने again एक amplifier से ही provide किया हुआ है. Accurate current mirror. अभी हम assume कर सकते हैं we have ideal current source which is providing the current which we want. For example हम 10 microamps provide करना चाह रहे हैं. तो ये 10 microamps इस transistor में आएगा, and then it's going to feed this current accordingly. Just 1 second, let me. So this यहाँ से कोई current आएगा, and we are feeding this current to this first stage and the second stage. तो आप देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ से कोई current यहाँ जाएगा, and based on the ratio of M5 and M8, some current will go here, and ratio of M7 and M8, some current is going to feed here. And I'm talking about the ratio, I'm talking about the ratio of widths. Lengths are assumed to be constant. Okay? So it's a 2-stage amplifier where the first one is a current mirror, and we have overall 2 stages. Okay? So ये तो हमारे पास एक simple configuration हो गई. And initially for our simplified analysis, what we are mentioning that the transistors M1, M2, ये तो हमें पता है normally both of them are going to be same value. M1 and M2 की values same होंगी in terms of dimensions, because there's a differential pair and we don't want these dimensions to be different. But on top of it, just for the simplification, they're saying M3 and M4 are also equal and they are also same to M1 and M2. Okay, so SMITE condition will we have to disobey in the later stages, but abhi simplification ke liye we are assuming that the M1, M2, M3 and M4 all have same sizes. So M1 is equal to M2 is equal to M3 is equal to. Okay. So if we just come back to the this configuration again, we talked about this is the first stage and this one is a second stage. Second stage में ये resistor और capacitor क्या कर रहे हैं? Anybody want to comment on this resistor and capacitor? Because when I was just a little bit briefly telling about this configuration, V2 is going to the gate of the PMOS, I didn't mention anything about the resistor and capacitor. ये resistor and capacitor क्या कर रहे हैं?
सर को filter act कर रहे हैं.
Okay.
Maybe.
So their names, if you just recall, they are RC and CC. These are basically the same frequency compensation capacitor and resistance. So they are doing the frequency compensation part for the stability, for the phase margin improvement. हम इनको बाद में discuss करेंगे आज ही के lecture में, but in a later point. But for initial design, for initial calculation and for initial analogy, we will remove these R and C. Let's take these R and C out. ठीक है, हम इन दोनों resistor and capacitor को initially remove कर देंगे and then we are going to bring back that why we need these resistor and capacitor. The whole idea of them, as you can see, is the name is compensation, the same frequency compensation जो हम लोगों ने last lecture में discuss किया. Right. So now let's remove the resistor and capacitors. So our system is going to something which is visible. Okay, all of you can see this one. So we have this circuit now, the same circuit, just with the resistor and capacitor are removed. Everything else is same. Okay, so we have current mirror here. We have first stage, which is a differential stage, but a common source, and we have a second. Okay. So अब इस circuit को analyze करना start करते हैं. If anyone has question till now, they can ask. Otherwise, we will start analyzing the circuit. Just to just to ensure M3, M4, M6 are PMOS, M1, M2, M8, M5, and M7 are NMOS. Okay. So I guess if there is something not clear, we can also discuss, but I guess that's something which we need to. And also I uploaded the transcripts, these transcripts yesterday. So you should have these transcripts. I mentioned lecture 5, 6 because it has some introduction about the basic 2 stage and then coming towards the lecture 6. So these transcripts are already available. If there is some extra today we work on, I will definitely share that.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, could you explain the word stage over here? आप जब कहते हैं कि एक stage है ये, तो उसकी क्या condition है जो इसको stage बनाती है?
Stage means it should have one gain. कि आपके पास आप कोई gain जिसका common source है, common source is one stage. ठीक है, common source के बाद एक और common source लगाओ, this means this is second stage. ठीक है, तो अगर आपके पास एक input है और उसके output पे कोई gain आ रहा है, this means this is one stage for us. ठीक, उस output के बाद एक और कोई common source या common gate या common drain कोई एक और amplifier लगा हुआ है, this is another stage. Or in simple words we can say back to back amplifiers. हम लोगों ने स्टार्ट किया था सिंगल स्टेज एम्पलीफायर से, जिसको हम लोगों ने कहते थे. तो अगर आपके बैक टू बैक लगे हो, दिस मींस दे आर कैस्केडेड टुगेदर. इसका कोई गेन है A1, इसका कोई गेन है A2. अगर इस किस्म की कॉन्फ़िगरेशन बन रही है, दिस वन इज नोन एज अ कॉमन स्टेज एम्पलीफायर, कॉमन टू स्टेज एम्पलीफायर. तो ये यही काम है जो भी हम लोगों ने बनाया. ठीक है, so let's start by analyzing the first stage. So अगर हम first stage को analyze करना start करें, what I just did, I drawed only the first stage. I removed the current mirror and I removed the second stage to see and to draw the plots. Okay. And now we are interested at this moment in the differential gain. We are not interested in the common mode initially, क्योंकि हम लोगों ने बात की थी कि we are interested in open loop configuration first, and open loop configuration के लिए हमें DC gain चाहिए, and DC gain is going to come from the differential gain. तो उसके लिए we are assuming कि जो V in negative है, that is a differential signal minus VID by 2, and जो V in positive है, that is a differential signal VID by 2. ठीक है, यहाँ तक ये चीज क्लियर हो गई. And M1 is same, M2 is same, M3, M4, this is VDD. And इस point को हम कह देते हैं Vout1, क्योंकि this is not the final output, this is output of the first stage, and this impedance seen at this point is known as Rout1. अगर हम इसका two-stage model just for the simplification purpose draw करें, we can have this configuration. We have this जो आपने short circuit, if you remember the short circuit method where you try to find the GM, so it's the same thing. हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? We are just mimicking. This is VID, so there is going to be some input impedance Zn1. ठीक है, तो इस amplifier की कोई impedance होगी. Then comes the GM, which is a transconductance or a short circuit current. Short circuit current करके आप you can find the overall circuit transconductance GM find करेंगे. That is multiplied by this V1 जो यहाँ potential आपके पास होगा. It's going to be further on multiplied, और जो current है it will be converted into voltage with the help of Rout1 जो कि हम लोग इस point पे देख रहे हैं. And then after that it's going to see the input impedance of the second stage. हम लोग उसको mimic कर रहे हैं Zn2 से अभी तक. We are not at this moment finding the Zn2 value for first stage, but we are saying that okay, this Rout1 is going to be in parallel with some impedance, and that is going to be Zn2. So अगर हम यहाँ देखना चाहें, so we can see ये आपकी first stage थी, इसकी impedance Rout1 थी, और ये parallel है किससे? जो यहाँ से impedance थी Zn2 से. ठीक है? So that's what we are telling. We are saying this Rout1 is in parallel with this Zn2. So now जो हमारे एक analyze करने के लिए हमें चाहिए क्या होगा? We need to find this Zn1, we need to find this Rout1, and we need to find this GM1. VID is the input and Vout1 can be find an output. हमें अगर पहले stage का gain find करना हो या overall system configuration find करनी हो, we are interested in Vout1 by VID. ठीक है, हमें ये दो चीजें चाहिए. उसको reduce करने के लिए अगर हमें GM पता हो, GM1 पता हो, Zn1 पता हो और Rout1 पता हो, we can find that easy. Moving forward, first thing Zn1 क्या होगा? अगर मैं सिर्फ DC सिग्नल की बात करूं, जी अली.
Sir, could you repeat कि V in equals to VID by 2 क्यों है? I missed that point.
ठीक है. So we are just assuming at this moment कि it's a differential signal. हम लोग क्योंकि आपके पास जो सिग्नल होता है, ये क्या होता है? V in negative in reality क्या होगा? V common mode minus VID by 2, right? और V in positive क्या होगा? V common mode, same signal plus VID by 2. What I'm saying, I'm not interested at this moment. अगर आपको differential का lecture याद हो, we are not interested in the common mode analysis since we are only interested at this moment in the differential gain. So we will make this VCM go away and we will just apply the differential signal, which is minus VID by 2 and plus VID by 2. Let me just use a different color. So now the first thing is that if we just talk about the DC gain कि हम frequency को 0 assume करें, then definitely the input impedance क्या होगी? Zn1 will be infinite. ठीक है? क्योंकि ये उसके gate पे apply हो रही है and the input impedance is going to be infinite. But since we are also interested in the poles and the frequency response, so that's why we are also going to bring about the capacitor. At this moment, I'm just writing this. We will just derive in a couple of minutes that तो आपके पास Zn1 होगा, that will come out to be 1 over S CGS1 by 2. Meaning जो आपके पास input capacitance है, it will be a capacitance which is its value will be CGS1 by 2 या CGS2 by 2. So it will be something like this. या तो CGS1 by 2 होगी या CGS2 by 2 होगी. Since M1 and M2 are same, this means the capacitance is going to be same, the gate to source capacitance, but it will be half overall of that capacitance. We are going to see in a couple of minutes how we are going to do that thing. Ali, is still your hand is there. Is there's something you want to add?
No, sir. Sorry.
And then comes the GM. GM, अगर आप लोगों को याद हो, we want to normally find by shorting out the output and try to find I out by V, the I short circuit by the voltage. So if we try to do that, I short circuit by the input voltage जो भी हमारे पास उस time होगी, that's going to be GM. So if you remember, that's something clear in this circuit कि अगर मैं GM find करना चाहूँ, capital GM, वो क्या होगा इस circuit में? So since the amplitude, this is going to either it will be GM1 or either it's going to be GM2. Okay, so that should be ideally clear. या वो GM1 होगा या GM2 होगा. Since we are assuming M1 and M2 are same, so we can write anything. So GM हमारे पास GM1 और GM2 होगा. अगर ये भी clear नहीं है, we can also do that one too. But if all of you are clear, which I assume might be, we can skip this part. Then R out क्या होगा? यहाँ से impedance कितनी होगी? That is a little bit tricky thing. यहाँ से R out 1 कितनी होगी इस सर्किट में? So here we have an M2 and on top we have an M4. So what do you think the R out 1 will be? इसको आप तो एक मिनट सोचिएगा कि ये किस तरह क्या होगी. And I want an answer from one or two of you कि क्या होनी चाहिए. So all of you are comfortable with what's written here? R out 1 is R out 2 in parallel with R out 4. So if you are not comfortable, we can do a small derivation to see, because if we just see with this bare eye, we might say it's RO2 in parallel with RO4, but the analysis which when we do, we might end up in some different configuration. The end result is definitely this one, but we need to see how we normally find it. Why? Because if you just see this point here, this one from the down is okay, RO2, we all are comfortable. But the up part is not going to be something which is depicted here. So this one is, let's say, RO4 here. But if you see the impedance from this node, it's not going to be RO2. Why? Because there is a feedback path involved in this configuration, which will halt us in mimicking the value as it's mentioned here. So that's what I want all of us to do together in a couple of minutes. But before that, let's do the first Z in 1 expression. Z in 1 को derive कर लेते हैं कि Z in 1 क्या हो. So if we do the circuit for the Z in 1 configuration, and again, as we mentioned that we are only talking about the differential signal. So this node, जो हमारे पास ये वाला point था, we can sufficiently take this as an incremental ground. ठीक है? It's not a real ground, but we can take an incremental ground since no current is going to flow here. It's a differential signal. जितना यहाँ से ज़्यादा होगा, same values going less here. So no current is going to flow. No I is going to flow here. So कोई current नहीं जाएगा, तो we can safely say this is a incremental ground for us. So we can draw something like this configuration. And also I'm replacing the M3 that is a diode connected by 1 over GM3 configuration. Okay? तो एक diode connected है. जी.
So could you repeat कि M5 में current क्यों नहीं enter होगा?
Again going back to the differential signal, अगर आपको याद हो कि जब differential हमारे पास system होता था, let me draw in a separate. If you just remember, we have something similar all of us have seen previously. कि ये आपके पास एक डिफरेंशियल सिग्नल था। डिफरेंशियल सिग्नल का मतलब क्या है, जितना अगर यहाँ से कम हो रहा है सेम सिग्नल इज गोइंग अप हियर, मीनिंग अगर यहाँ से थोड़ा सा सिग्नल ज्यादा होगा व्हाट विल हैपन, मोर करंट विल फ्लो हियर। मोर करंट मीनिंग वो आई करंट कहीं से फ्लो करेगा, वो आई करंट फॉर एग्जांपल ज्यादा हुआ बाय दिस अमाउंट आई डी बाय, ठीक है, प्लस हुआ, वो करंट मूव करेगा। वो करंट कहां से सप्लाई हो रहा है, दैट करंट इज बीइंग रिड्यूस्ड फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट। अगर ये लूप है तो दिस करंट इज supplied from this point, so current will be reduced basically in other terminology from this point by the same amount, and that's why no current is going to flow at this point, क्योंकि यहाँ से जितना current flow हुआ था that has to be supplied from somewhere, ठीक है,
yes, yes.
No current will flow from here and then we will say this point is virtual ground, ठीक है, so no current will flow through this resistor. Same thing was here. If there is still some confusion, you can go back to the differential one and we can answer, like we can discuss more on Friday session. So let's come back here. So हम लोग इसकी बात करें तो we were basically finding input impedance. So input impedance is going to be this one, CGS1 and CGS2. So ये हमारे पास input impedance configuration थी. So if we want to do a little bit smart drawing, we can do something like this: minus VID by 2, CGS1 is coming, this point is incremental ground, and CGS2 is coming, and then we have VID by 2. So that's one something. Just for simplicity, हमको एक expression evaluate करने के लिए we're assuming we just reach to this point, minus VID, CGS1 in series with CGS2. So what we can also do, either CGS1 is equal to CGS2 or CGS2 is equal to CGS1. So we can also talk in terms of one number, CGS1 or CGS2. So ये दोनों series में हैं, so it's going to be CGS1 in series with CGS2. Capacitances series में हो तो they become half if they are of the same value. So we come out to be CGS1 by 2. And if we just make this VID on the one side, we are going to have VID and the ground. So whole input impedance is going to be seen by the differential signal in totality. So the differential signal in totality is VID, and the impedance which is going to be seen by with the ground is going to be CGS1 by 2. And that's what we wrote here. So the overall input impedance is going to be 1 over S CGS1 by 2 or 1 over S CGS2 by 2. So the input capacitance होगी, that is CGS1 by 2 or CGS2 by 2. So ये आपके system की input capacitance है, ठीक है? So that's one thing. Again, coming back, that Z in 1 at DC value is going to be infinite. लेकिन अगर हम capacitance की बात करें, yes, there is going to be some capacitance which value is going to be CGS1 by 2 or CGS2 by 2. Now let's see a bit about the R out one. R out one, as I was mentioning, it looks to us in the previous configuration that the overall impedance is in RO2 in parallel with the RO4. The overall result is definitely RO2 in parallel with RO4. But if we just analyze it, it's not going to be direct way. Why? Because this impedance seen from the point of M4 is RO4, agreed. But the impedance seen from this drain of M2 is not RO2. Why? अगर आप इसको देखें, this is now incremental ground, this point. So this means this is connected somehow to this point, ठीक है? और ये इस point से connected है, तो what's happening? It's a common source with degeneration, right? So अगर ये common source with degeneration है, so if we want to find the impedance here, R out, इस point पे, तो वो impedance हो जाएगी 1 plus GM, अगर इसकी GM2 है, times जो भी RS यहाँ से है, और वो RS इस केस में क्या है, 1 over GM1. So 1 over GM1 times RO2. RO2. So GM1 and GM2 are same, so it's going to be RO2 times 1 plus 1 by GM1, and it will be cancelled out by GM2. So it will be 1 plus 1, 2. So it's going to be 2 RO2. So the impedance seen from the drain of M2 is 2 RO2. Okay. So first thing, the impedance seen from the drain of M2 is 2 RO2. So if we say okay, then the impedance is going to be parallel combination of RO4 time R04 and 2R02? No. Why? Because there is a feedback path involved here. This feedback path is going to let this current flow from this point. So we need to take into consideration this path, and how we are going to do that. Our friend, the test source. So we are going to put a test source here, a voltage test source, and we are going to divide it by I test to find the impedance or an RR or output impedance. So if we just do a little bit analogy, I test is equal to I1 plus I2, which you can also see in this configuration. This is the I2, which is current moving from the M4, and I1 is the current moving through towards the direction of I2. But if we see a little bit carefully, what we can see, I2 is basically combination of the voltage at this point, meaning V test by R04. So I2 is equal to V test by R04 plus there is I1 coming back here. So I1 is also getting added in I2. So there's I1 factor also coming here. So this is the overall picture of I2. And I1 क्या है हमारे पास? I1 is V test divided by R02. Sorry, V test divided by 2 R02, not 1 R02, because now impedance seen at this point is 2 R02. So I1 is equal to V test divided by 2 R02. So अगर हम अब इन दोनों को plug it back करें यहाँ, so I1 will become I1 plus V test by R04. जी हमजा.
Sir, वो ऊपर I2 की equation के अंदर shouldn't it be minus I1 because it's coming from the opposite direction?
It's going to be ultimately, अगर आप ये देखेंगे वो I2 में add हो रहा है करंट. हम यहाँ से इस नोड पे देख लें, ठीक है? इस नोड पे, you take this node only, जिस पे मैं पॉइंट कर रहा हूँ. यहाँ ये करंट आ रहा है I2, यहाँ ये करंट आ रहा है I1. मैं इस करंट को कोई I2 का नाम देता हूँ, I3 दे देता हूँ. I3 की वैल्यू क्या होगी? I1 plus I2. So both of these currents are basically added together.
Okay.
Okay. So in that sense, the current is basically added together. So in general, if we want to see the net current is going to be summation of I1 plus V test by R04. Okay. So then it's going to be 2I1 plus V test by R04. And then if we just replace I1 by V test by 2R02, so 2 will be cancelled with this 2. And then ultimately it will be 1 over R02 plus 1 over R04 times V test. Or we can say R out 1 is R02 in parallel with R04, which was initially, if we just see with a not with a proper eye, we might conclude that it's R02 in parallel with R04, but it's not that much straightforward. It needs to be a little bit careful visualization. Okay. So now, since we got all the values, we can just plug it into that circuit जो हम लोगों ने simplified model बनाया था for the first stage analysis. So it was differential signal with some input impedance Z in 1, उसके across voltage V1 होगी, capital GM was small GM1 times V1 जो ये voltage थी, R out 1 was R02 in parallel with R04, and V out 1 जो हमारे पास आ रहा था, और यहाँ इसको भी हमने Z in 2 ही कह दिया since we are not analyzing the second stage. इसमें कोई confusion तो नहीं है किसी को? Then we will move toward the second stage. So if there is no confusion, we can move toward the second stage analysis. Second stage is a little bit pretty much straightforward क्योंकि ये हम लोगों का पुराना common stage amplifier है, common source amplifier है. So if we see the second stage, again we need to bring the capacitor part. Okay. So the point is that there's a question why we don't consider CGD in Z in 1. Okay. And so there is a question basically that अगर हम इस system को देखें, so we have CGS 1 यहाँ से होगी, and also we have CGD. So there is basically a question why we are not considering the CGD in the analysis. Anybody want to answer this thing? कि हम लोग CGD को क्यों नहीं consider कर रहे in the input capacitance? I would just like all of you to ponder for 1 minute and then we can just see why. So this is a question asked by one of our students. Anybody think at least it should be considered? किसी के बारे में comment है कि they want, like, we did some mistake, we should also consider CGD. So first thing, let's start with the first point. If we see the input side is basically from between the input and the ground node. ठीक है, तो हमें पहले वो capacitor consider करनी होंगी, the capacitances which are between the input and the ground. So naturally पहली चीज तो आ जाएगी CGS. ठीक है. Second thing, if somebody says, okay, we also need to bring CGD1 using the Miller concept, कि ये अब आपके पास यहाँ से जो configuration बन रही है, this is an input, this is an output, so there is some gain involved, and we need to bring this back here. And when we bring this back here, the value is going to be something, and we need to bring that into the equation. Definitely, we can do that thing with a Miller effect. Okay, क्योंकि हम direct नहीं लाएंगे because the second node is not grounded. Our concern is that input and ground, that will be the input capacitance. Okay, ये चीज हमें ज़हन में रखनी है. So CGD will not come direct. If we want to bring it, we can bring indirect, but the value of CGD in relation to CGS will be very much small. That's why we don't want to bring it at this moment. If you want to do too much accurate analysis, you can bring it, but ultimately what will happen, CGS1 value can be 10 picofarad, for example, and CGD value can be 0.1 picofarad. So 10.1 picofarad, we can assume it somehow equal to 10 picofarad, which is CGS1. In जब आपके पास LT Spice या Cadence की जब simulation करते हैं, they consider all these things. They make sure do accurate analysis, but for our tabular analysis on paper and pencil, we can ignore the CGD1 at this stage. ठीक है, अगर आपको values given हो somehow, which are definitely अगर कोई value considerable ho, you need to take into account, but at this moment you can ignore the CGD1. But in generic, yes, CGD1 can come also as an input capacitor, but with a Miller effect. तो उसने Miller के gain के साथ multiply हो के आना है, ऐसे नहीं आए, because we are all the time concerned with that node in relation to ground. So for this analysis, we are ignoring the CGD part just for simplification. So अगर हम second stage की बात करेंगे, second stage में ये हमारे पास analysis हो जाएगा. So again, it's a common source with some load. So ये PMOS है, input is applied here, which we are calling VN2. So there is going to be some capacitance between again CGS6. Same thing, ये point ground नहीं है. We are not going to, if we want to bring this thing, we have to do some manipulation, and because of that manipulation, the value ultimately is going to be less than CGS6. So we can ignore at this moment safely. Second thing, there's going to be R out, or there's going to be something GM. GM हम सबको पता है, is going to be GM6. R out कोई value निकालेगी और ये input impedance हो जाएगी. So if we see the circuit is going to be VN2, ZN2, GM2, V2 times R out in parallel with some load CL जो हमें given है. So that factor will be overall V out for us. ZN2 again, it should be clear to all of us कि अगर हम ZN2 की बात करें, that will be equal to 1 over SCGS6, because it's not a differential anymore, it's a single ended topology. So हमारे पास straightforward जो capacitance है वो आ जाएगी. DC value पे is going to be infinite capacitance. यहाँ शायद infinite ना हो, but we need to see. GM2 में जो आपके पास GM2 इधर होगा, that will be equal to GM6, because this is the transconductance amplifier जो उसको voltage को current में convert कर रहा है. So this voltage is getting converted into current with the factor of GM6, small GM6. R out की अगर बात करें, so we have RO6 here, and then this RO6 will be in parallel with RO7. So अगर हम इसकी बात करें, यहाँ से RO6 हो जाएगी, and यहाँ से RO7. So we have RO6 in parallel with RO7. So we can directly draw this one. as a model and placing in the values for our simplification कि V/2 हो जाएगा. So this is going to be a capacitor. इसकी value CGS6 है. It's going to go to a GM6. KCl हो जाएगा, and this is going to be RO6 in parallel with RO7. ठीक है. So since we have done this, we can draw the overall model of the system or overall model of the two-stage amplifier. ठीक है. So the overall two-stage amplifier is here. If there is some concern related to this two-stage amplifier overall model, we can take it, but just the same thing. VID, input CGS1 by 2, GM1 V1 in parallel with RO2 times RO2 in parallel with RO4, then CGS6, which was EN2, V2 was potential across this capacitance. So this V2 is going to become a current voltage controlled current source, GM6 times V2 in parallel with RO6 in parallel with RO7 and overall in parallel with CL. So voltage will be across this parallel combination. Now the main thing, if we want to do the overall transfer function, which is our net result, we need to write something like this. H of S, which is a frequency dependent, is going to be V out by V in. Okay? This V out by this V in, which is a VID here. Okay? So that normally we can write something, a DC gain K divided by the pole locations, first pole and the second pole. Why two poles here? Since this is a two-stage system, टू स्टेज मीनिंग हर आउटपुट का एक पोल होगा. ठीक है. जब आप जिस तरह सिंगल स्टेज में वी ओनली कंसीडर वन पोल. इफ मल्टीपल या टू स्टेजेस में देयर आर टू पोल्स. अगर आपको याद हो, वी डिड द एग्जांपल 12.38 वेयर वी हैव थ्री कैस्केड कॉमन सोर्स स्टेजेस, देन वी कंसीडर थ्री पोल्स देयर. So based on the number of stages, we consider the effect of poles. ठीक है. So we are going to have 1 plus S omega P1 and 1 plus S omega P2. तो अगर आपको याद हो, जो हम लोगों ने यहाँ से जो सर्किट देखा, ये जो देखा था, we want to find this is H of omega, जो अभी हम लोगों ने एक्सप्रेशन लिखा है. So we need to find this K value here, DC gain. We need to find, अगर आप ओमेगा डोमिनेंट की बात करें, दिस इज फर्स्ट पोल, एक पोल, और ओमेगा P1 ये सेकंड पोल हो जाएगा. तो इसको मैं कह सकता हूँ दिस इज ओमेगा P2 and this one is omega P1. तो हमारे पास दो बेसिकली इस तरह पोल बन रहे हैं. They are not the parasitics. This one is a parasitic pole, लेकिन जो dominant pole है, that is also first pole, so we can say that is the first pole. Omega naught is not something which is going to come in the expression, because this is the point where the magnitude plot is going to cross the unity, or it's a unity crossover frequency. Right. So सबसे पहले we just need to find the DC gain. DC gain क्या होगा इसमें? It's a little bit straightforward since we already did our calculation. We just need to remove the capacitance and we can easily find our expression. क्योंकि at a value of DC or omega is equal to 0, or impedance is going to be infinite. तो हम लोग DC gain की बात करें, so our circuit is going to be something reached to this point. VID, now this is going to be open, infinite है. So whatever VID is the same thing as V1, so इसको हम VID safely लिख सकते हैं. This is GM1 and RO2 in parallel with RO4. Again, GN2 will become infinite, so we can safely remove it. Potential across these 2 points is going to be converting a voltage controlled current source, GM6 times V2, and then in parallel with RO6 times RO6 and RO7. So that's going to be V out. So we can simply write our expression for DC gain, which is the first stage DC gain, GM1 times RO2 in parallel with RO4, multiplied by second stage DC gain, GM6 times RO6 in parallel with RO7. So this is the first stage. So second stage. ठीक है. Till now, anybody has any confusion? So if there is no confusion, we need to move towards the other thing, which is a WP1 and a WP2. हम इन चीजों को डिराइव करते हैं। So we will see later on कि इनमें से डोमिनेंट कौन सा है। अभी जस्ट वी आर गिविंग द जो फर्स्ट स्टेज का पोल है उसको WP1 कह रहे हैं और सेकंड स्टेज के पोल को WP2 कह रहे हैं, ठीक है। We are just doing this thing. So if we see the first stage pole, let me just overall model, ठीक है। तो हमारे पास बेसिकली कितने कैपेसिटेंसेस हैं? If we want to see, we have this capacitance CGS1/2, we have this capacitance CGS6 and we have this capacitance CL, ठीक है। अगर आप इस तरह देखें, you might see we have 3 poles, ठीक। So but this pole is not which is going to affect us. Why? Because it's going to be multiplied by a resistance which is going to be infinite, ठीक है। वेरी मच हाई रेजिस्टेंस, जब काफी ज्यादा वैल्यू होगी तो इट्स गोइंग टू बी 1 ओवर इनफाइनाइट CGS1/2। तो ये जो पोल होगा दिस इज अ DC ब्लॉकिंग पोल, सो ये काफी उसके स्टार्ट में आ जाएगा। वी आर नॉट कंसर्न इन द AC एनालिसिस फॉर दिस पोल। तो इस पोल से हम लोग डिस्टर्ब नहीं होंगे, इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू डू एनीथिंग विद अस। वी आर ओनली गोइंग टू कंसर्न विद दिस पोल, जिसको हम इस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में ओमेगा P1 कहते हैं, or we are going to be concerned with the other pole omega P, ठीक है। तो एक पोल जो ओमेगा P1 होगा that will be because of this capacitance CGS6 and omega P2 will be with the load capacitance। तो अगर ओमेगा P1 की बात करें वो CGS6 1 over CGS6 times the impedance seen at this point which is RO2 in parallel with RO4, और ओमेगा 2 के लिए क्या होगा 1 over CL multiplied by RO6 in parallel with RO7। तो ये हमारे पास दो पोल लोकेशन बन जाएंगे। So want to go back, so the two poles are going to be this one, omega P1 and omega P2। So now हमारे पास पोल लोकेशंस आ गई हैं, DC गेन आ गया है, but something which is going to be something of interest for us which is going to be the dominant pole, क्योंकि जब तक हमें dominant pole का नहीं पता चलेगा we cannot say about the bandwidth of an amplifier, which is one of the main important thing, or which is the dominant pole here. So according to your knowledge, which one is going to be dominant pole? Dominant pole definitely वो होगा जो इनमें से bigger value होगी। क्यों? क्योंकि dominant pole वो होगा जो ओमेगा के स्केल में पहले आएगा इस ओमेगा में, और जो ओमेगा के स्केल में पहले आएगा दैट विल डिसाइड द बैंडविड्थ, और जो ओमेगा के स्केल में पहले आएगा दिस मींस इनवर्स वो बिगर वैल्यू होगी, ठीक है। तो इन दोनों में से ओमेगा P1 और ओमेगा P2 या इन दोनों के जो मल्टीप्लिकेशन ऑफ रेजिस्टेंस एंड कैपेसिटर है, बड़ी वैल्यू किसकी होगी आप लोगों के ख्याल से? एक इंट्यूटिव गेस क्या होगा?
So I think CL would be greater than CGS6. CL greater than CGS6.
ठीक है। So what we can say, first thing, RO2 and RO2 in parallel with RO4, RO6 in parallel with RO7 somehow of the same range, ठीक है। अगर वो एक 10 किलो ओम होगी, दूसरी might be 12 किलो ओम, but almost on the same scale, ठीक है। इतना डिफरेंस उन दोनों में नहीं होगा। तो अगर हम उनको सेम assume भी कर लें for our simplicity, there is another condition which we need to see. Is this a valid assumption कि जो load capacitance होगी that is a bigger value as compared to the CGS6 which is in reality a parasitic capacitance, वो inherited है ट्रांजिस्टर की, वो लोड कैपेसिटेंस नहीं है जो हम खुद प्लेस इन कर रहे हैं या जो लोड की वजह से आ रही है। So this assumption is 100% justified. The CL is going to be very much bigger than CGS6, so at least इन दोनों के दरमियान 10 टाइम का फैक्टर होगा। तो CL है वो इन द रेंज ऑफ पिकोफैरेड होती है, तो CGS6 है वो नॉर्मली इन द रेंज ऑफ फेम्टोफैरेड होती है। पिकोफैरेड मीनिंग 10⁻⁻12, femtofarad means 10⁻⁻15. 100 to 1000 time difference comes between these two capacitance, so the value is 100%. Okay, so हम किसको कह सकते हैं dominant pole? Omega P2. So omega P2 is going to be our dominant pole in this current configuration, and omega P1 is a parasitic pole. अगर हम इसको draw करना चाहें, we can draw this way. 20 log K जो हम लोगों ने K की वैल्यू फाइंड की थी, GM1 times RO2 in parallel with RO4 times GM6 R06 in parallel with R07. So this is going to be GM1 times R02 in parallel with R04, GM6 in parallel with R07. ठीक है, तो ये गेन तो हमें पता चल गया, ये भी हमें पता चल गया. This one is omega p2. इसकी वजह से the decade start at -20 dB per decade. It will continue until the omega p2 omega p1 location will come, जिसको हम यहाँ से कहना, then it's going to be -40 dB per decade. And then something we need to find omega naught. Omega naught कौन सी value थी? We need to figure it out. वो value जहाँ मेरा h of s is 1 या 20 log h of s का magnitude 0 dB है. ठीक है, तो हम लोगों ने ये पॉइंट फाइंड करना था. तो वो पॉइंट किस तरह फाइंड करते हैं? We can just plug it back, go back to our expression. In order to find this h of s, we don't have to consider the omega p1 pole, which is a non-dominant pole, को हमें consider करने की अब जरूरत नहीं है. Why? क्यों? आप इसमें देख सकते हैं omega naught की calculation के लिए only omega p2 is affecting. Omega p1 is not going to make any effect because value of the CGS6 is going to be small and इतना ज़्यादा उसका effect नहीं होगा. So for simplification, we can write the expression of k divided by 1 plus s omega p2. We can ignore omega p1 just for simplification. Okay, it's not like for accurate you can bring it, but then this expression is going to be complex and we end up in a complex math. लेकिन जो आपके पास tools होते हैं, simulation tool, they consider that thing, but for our simplification we are just omitting omega p1. Why? Just because of this assumption. क्योंकि अभी we are saying that omega p1 is bigger than omega naught is bigger than omega. ठीक, just for simplification. अगर ये condition ना होती, then definitely we have to consider omega p1. क्योंकि omega p1 omega naught से बड़ा है, that's why it's not going to affect omega naught calculation. तो अगर हम इसको plug in करें, DC gain हमें पता है. We know this expression 1 plus s R06 in parallel with R07 times CL. For frequencies bigger than omega p2, what we can safely say, this one is going to be s R06 in parallel with R07 times CL. So हम इसको करेंगे तो we get cancelled R06 and R07. We just place h of s magnitude by 1. The unity frequency हमें find करनी है. This is the nominal scale, not the log scale. So for the unity frequency is going to be GM1 R02 in parallel times GM6. So s is going to be omega naught since we placed 1 here. So the omega naught comes out to be GM1 multiplied by R02 in parallel with R04 times GM6 divided by CL. Okay, so this is going to be our unity frequency. यहाँ तक सब everything is clear. यहाँ तो कोई confusion है तो just please ask, otherwise we'll proceed. We'll just try to wrap the lecture a little bit in 5 minutes. Then we have to do some announcements and we have to solve the question number 5, solution 5, question number 1 part B. Is there any concern from this expression, this evaluation? So if there is no, we can move forward. One of the things we find the omega naught value, but one thing we want is this thing. We want omega p1 to be greater than, very much greater than, at least 10 times greater than for what? For a good phase margin. All of you are comfortable with this reason why we want omega p1 to be far from omega naught. क्योंकि अगर उसकी 10 times से कम में होगा, then it will start affecting it phase wise. और अगर phase effect होगा, your phase margin will go down. Why? Omega p2 की वजह से -90 degree phase in any case will come. अगर omega p1 will start affecting it, or if it is closer to it, what might happen? We might have a phase margin of, or phase margin will go down by -45 degree or whatever the desired. So we want omega p1 to be as far or as possible compared to omega naught. Safely omega p1 should be at least 10 times omega naught, जो हम लोग हमेशा condition रखते हैं. So we need to make sure कि whether we are having this condition in our expression or not. तो omega naught तो हम लोगों ने ये निकाल लिया. Let's see कि इस current जो हमारा two stage amplifier है इसमें ये valid है या नहीं है. So just putting the omega p1 expression, उसकी value थी 1 over r2 in parallel with r04 times CGS6, and we have GM1 times R02 in parallel with R04 dot GM6 by CL. ठीक है, तो ये हमारे पास expression हो गया था. If we just do the math, we find out कि जो CL अगर in order to meet this condition of omega p1 greater than omega naught, CL should be greater than GM1 times GM6 times R02 in parallel with R04 square multiplied by CGS6. We agree that CL should be greater than CGS6, but here something wrong is happening. What is the issue here? In order to achieve a good phase margin, in order to achieve a stable system, there is some issue here, जो मैंने यहाँ point out किया हुआ है, this expression. Can anybody see this one? So that's very much important. So what's going to happen? जी बताएगा.
Say internal resistance की वैल्यू मुमकिन है exceed कर दे CL की वैल्यू का. आप ये इंडिकेट कर रहे हैं क्या?
नहीं. The thing is going to happen, in order to achieve omega p1 greater than omega naught, we need to have a CL load capacitance of a very much bigger value. क्यों? क्योंकि the expression comes out to be GM1 times GM6 multiplied by R02 in parallel with R04 whole square. So अगर हम कोई number place in करना चाहें, this comes out to be normally 10 kilo ohm or whatever mega ohm का square. ठीक है? And GM1, GM6 आ रहा है आपके पास, that's going to be, might be overall net comes out to be 1 milli something. So the CL यहाँ से जो हमें लग रहा है that might be 1000 times of CGS6 or 1000 rather 10 to the power 4 times of CGS6. उसका issue ये हो क्या होगा कि we can have this much big capacitance, but this big capacitance will result in the CL value of around 100 picofarad. 100 picofarad we cannot have on chip. It's a very much huge value. आप अपनी जो chip होती है या जो mobile phone है उसमें एक 100 picofarad का capacitor integrate नहीं कर सकते chip में. You need to have a smaller value of capacitor integrated. Why? Because it's going to take huge area. ठीक है? So that's why this design is not reasonable for our integrated circuit or for our analog design, जिसको हम लोग एक proper design के तौर पे present कर सकें. So this is the issue with this design. In order to make the system stable with a sufficient phase margin, अगर हम ये design use करेंगे, the CL value has to be very much bigger, and which is not a reasonable value for an integrated circuit design. That's why we need to do something in order to reduce this CL value. ठीक है? ये point clear है सबको? So whenever such issue comes, phase margin का stability का, we have that technique जो हम लोगों ने last lecture में भी देखी थी, the frequency compensation. That's why the CC was there. ठीक है? क्या होगा CC में? Ultimately we have first stage जिसका हमें पता है A1, we have second stage A2. So अगर हम एक capacitors add खुद कर दें, यहाँ CL लगा हुआ, CC, then what we will do basically, ultimately we will do pole splitting. हम क्या करेंगे? आपके पास ये भी configuration इस तरह की थी कुछ, omega p1 या omega p2 था, sorry, this was omega p1. We need to do pole splitting here in order to make the non-dominant pole as a dominant pole. तो हम क्या करेंगे? By adding of CC, ultimately this one will reach here somehow. जब ये इस यहाँ होगा, what will happen? This will go a little bit earlier down. and because of this expression जो आपके पास phase margin will improve. हम इसको next lecture में यहीं से take up करेंगे. We will do the complete analysis again at this point, but I want from all of you to make sure to go through this point because this is very much important. We have to do a lot like a calculation and mathematics why we are doing this thing. So we will start from this point. We will take any question even on the next lecture or also on the Friday on this topic, but make sure to go through properly what we have covered in today's lecture, because that's very much important. That's the whole essence of this course, that we should be able to design 1-2 stage or an amplifier based on the specification. So once we go through this, then we'll put some numbers and we will also do our design part. There are a couple of announcements and then we can just do the homework problem. So the announcements are basically, first and the main announcement is that we are going to have a quiz number 5. So there was last time some mistake, I was mentioning wrong as quiz 5. So we are going to have a quiz 5 on Monday. Monday, the date is basically going to be, let's see, going to be, so Monday is going to be 27th. So we have 27th April, we have 5th quiz. The policy for the quiz is going to be the same which we adopted for quiz 4. We will have 2 separate quizzes, one for section 1, one for section 2. Section 1 quiz will be starting at 10 a.m., finishing at 10:45 or 11. Section 2 quiz will start at 2:45, finishing at 3:45. And any of you can appear in any of the quiz, but like you cannot appear in both. You can appear in one of the quiz, whichever you find, whichever you want to. And you cannot do this thing. You appear in first quiz and then you say you didn't do good, you didn't perform well, and you want to appear in the second. No, you can only appear in one of the quiz. And the content is going to be what we covered in the last 2 lectures, last 3 lectures rather. The feedback stability, phase margin, and the frequency compensation. Okay, so I guess these what we covered. Frequency stability will include the Bode plot. So before the 2-stage amplifier, which we covered, basically things are going to be part of it. And then we are going to have quiz 6. That will be also on Monday, but not this Monday. Coming Monday, it will be next Monday. So that's the date is going to be 4th May. That will be the last quiz. So the content is going to be 2-stage amplifier. So whatever we started from, yes, last lecture or today's lecture, so that will be part of it. Okay. So these are some announcements which we just make sure we follow. So we have 2 quizzes left, quiz 5 and quiz 6. So quiz 5 will be on Monday, 27th April. Again, we will update the same way it's going to happen. And quiz 6 will be on Monday about the 2-stage amplifier. So any questions, any concerns before I will start the homework problem?
Sir, will there be a class on Friday also?
Friday there is no class, but normally we do a QA session at 2 p.m.
Or okay, sir. And the question you're going to do right now, sir, कौन सा question है?
Yeah, question number 1, part B of homework.
Achha, okay, sir. Thank you.
If somebody is not interested in that, they can just leave. We're not going to discuss anything like new. If there's some question, come definitely we will do. Question. Let's just open 1 minute question for you. What was the question? So we have basically the question was something like this. So A part was, I guess, clear. That's pretty much which we are doing from a lot of time. So we have this function 1 plus s times 10 raised to the power 4 times 1 plus s. ठीक है, ये अब आपके पास क्वेश्चन था, and you need to find the Bode plot for this one. First, the Bode plot was pretty much straightforward, so all of you were able to do that. So if we just want to quickly do the Bode plot again, so it's 10 raised to the power, I'll just do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Similarly, this is for the phase. So अगर हम बात करें, so we will have a first pole at, so it's going to be fixed value till 10 to the 4, it will decay down with a minus 20 dB decay until it reaches 10 plus 7, and it's going to be minus 40 dB. And it started, if we want to say our dB scale, 10 raised to the power 3 is 60 dB. So अगर हम 60 dB यहाँ है, तो 10 raised to the power 5 पे it's going to have 40 dB. 10 raised to the power 6 पे it's going to have 20 dB, and 10 raised to the power 7 पे it's going to have 0 dB. ठीक है, and at 10 raised to the power, let's say अगर मैं इसको 8 कह दूं, it's going to be have, क्योंकि अब minus 40 dB का के पास आ जाएगा, ठीक है, उसके बाद minus 40 dB. So at a 0 dB की अगर आप बात करें, that's something going to be like this. ठीक है, यहाँ तक इसको आप देख लें, इसमें कोई confusion है तो you can ask. So and then we have the phase response. Phase response will start with the minus 45, minus 90, minus 135, minus 180 degrees. So we'll start with this point. At 10 times of this one, we'll start with the minus 45 degree per decade. We will go 10 to the power 5. We'll stay here, and then we'll start here. 10 to the power 8 पे ये minus 180.
सर यहाँ पर सर ये जो आपने minus 90 के ऊपर एक stay लिया सर, could you explain this?
Okay, so we start with the 10 times less than the gain, 10 times less than the omega naught, which is 10 to the power 4. ठीक है, तो मैं यहाँ से start हुआ, so it's minus 45 degree per decade से, and I will continue until I reach point minus 90 degree, क्योंकि एक पोल का overall response is going to be maximum minus 90 degree. ठीक है, 10 inverse omega p by omega जो होता है वो minus 90 degree आपके पास आ जाता है. So that's why when I reach this point, there is no pole. The next pole is 10 raised to the power at 10 raised to the power 7. 10 raised to the power 7 means its effect will start happening at 10 raised to the power 6. So I safely can stay from 10 raised to the power 5 till 10 raised to the power 7 at minus 90 degree. ठीक है?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
और ये भी जो ये minus 180 degree है last one. So similarly, after 10 to the power 6, I will start with the minus 45 degree per decade. तो ये तो हो गया first question. अब second question में था कि now we are given that अगर आपके पास closed loop gain 10 हो जाए, this A of S was a open loop gain. If we want to draw this configuration, this was A of S, okay, so this is V in. Now we're saying, okay, we have a closed loop something, again negative feedback, ये अब आपके पास हो जाए, जो अब gain है closed loop का V out by V in is equal to 10. ठीक हो गया, हमें अब बीटा की वैल्यू नहीं पता, we only know this value, so we need to find the beta value कि वो DC gain पे होगी क्या, क्योंकि before without that we cannot proceed. So that's why we need to write that expression कि H of S हमारे पास क्या था, A of S times 1 plus beta times A of S, and now H of S का हमें पता है, उन्होंने बता दिया कि DC पे इसकी वैल्यू 10 है. अगर DC पे इसकी वैल्यू 10 है, तो what's going to happen at a lower frequency, so we have H of S at low frequency, meaning S is equal to 0, we have this expression A of S times 1 plus beta times A of S. ठीक है, A of S जो मैंने थोड़ी सी मिस्टेक की थी while writing the solution, I write A of S को directly cancel out. So basically होगा क्या, A of S at S is equal to 0 क्या वैल्यू हो जाएगी, it's going to be 10 raised to power 3. So which we normally call, okay, it's going to be a very much big value. So let's keep at this thing. Now plug back on this expression, H of S as 0 is going to be A of S 10 to the power 3 plus beta times 10 to the power 3. 10 to the power 3 common ले लें दोनों साइड से, न्यूमरेटर और डिनोमिनेटर से. Plus beta. So 1 over 10 by 3 क्या है? It's going to be a very much small value. So I can approximate this thing equal to. So that's basically something. At DC value, my H of S at S over 0 is ultimately giving me an overall 1 over beta gain. ठीक है? तो अगर मैं अब इसको reiterate करूं, this means कि जो मेरे पास this beta factor यहाँ आपके पास आया हुआ था, this can be go back to the same expression which 1 over beta is equal to this the V out by Vn, I can write this equal to 1 over beta. This is a feedback gain. तो मुझे जो feedback gain था उसकी value पता चल गई, which is equal to 1 over 10. ये point clear है? And now we can find out phase margin at this point. किस तरह? Either two ways. एक तरीका तो ये हो सकता है जो मैंने solution में किया हुआ था, to go towards 10 dB. आप इस 20 dB के point पे जाएंगे and see the phase at that 20 dB. जो phase था वो क्या था? वो -90 degree था. So 180 minus 90 plus 180 degree is going to be 90 degree. That is your phase margin. That is one way. That's correct. Another way you can find the loop gain. Loop gain क्या होगा मेरे पास? This is 60 dB. और अब जो A of S का DC वैल्यू पे वैल्यू क्या थी? That is 60 dB. 60 dB. और आपके पास feedback gain कितना है? That is -20 dB. 1 over 10, right? -20 dB. तो overall आपके पास loop gain क्या होगा? अगर मैं loop gain लिखना चाहूँ 40 dB. पहले वो 60 था, आप इसको just scale down कर दें नीचे. Meaning I am just going to bring this thing to 20 dB. I'm just drawing on top of it with a black pen. So you can just see this thing.
सर फर्स्ट मेथड में
जी
सर फर्स्ट मेथड में आपने 20 dB के ऊपर चेक किया, आप इसमें क्या व्हाई 20 dB मेरे वो बात स्किप कर गया था.
हमें गेन गिवन है वो 10 है. 10 means 20 dB.
ओके, थैंक यू.
तो दूसरे काम में we just go here at this point, same सिर्फ उसने scale down करना है. It will scale down like this. Is this one यहाँ आए और इसके बाद it will continue like this one. अगर अब आप देखें कि अब ये 0 dB कहाँ टच कर रहा है? It's touching at 10 raised to the power 6, the same point. तो ये आप इस तरह करके आप phase देखेंगे, again is going to be -90 degree. -90 degree. The phase margin is going to be a 90 degree. Okay? Either way you can do that thing. I would highly recommend just do that. If you are confused, just do that thing, because this is going to be it's a powerful trick to do both ways the phase margin. क्योंकि ultimately जो हमारा concern होता है that is in the loop gain में हम लोग देखते हैं phase margin. ठीक है, तो loop gain में या देख लें या closed जो open loop में you go back towards the 1 over beta factor DC gain की value पे and see the phase margin at that point. So both of them are accurate ways. इसमें कोई confusion है तो just ask. If there is no point, what we can do, we'll just stop our today's session. But I will highly recommend all of you to go through today's lecture, since we are going to build on top of this lecture, and that is some important stuff, two-stage op-amp and the design of two-stage op-amp in the next lecture. which we are going to do on Monday. We will have our Friday QA session at 2 p.m. So any question related to anything, you can just come and you can just ask. So the meeting link is already shared on LMS with you. You can join using that one. And on the coming Monday, we are going to have quiz number 5, which will be based on feedback stability, phase margin, frequency compensation, Bode plot. And then we are going to have a quiz 6 on 4th Monday related to two-stage op-amp design. Explicit content of about two-stage op-amp we will mention that time. If there is no question, let's hope all of you will remain safe, and we will meet on Friday and also for our regular class on Monday, 27th April. Thank you.